Hello, everybody. We got 2 more minutes to go. One more minute to go. Hi, Warrior Mom. Isn't this exciting? Hello, Warrior Mom. I get to read you all a letter, but I got 1 more minute to go. Thank you. I did a podcast earlier, and I hate wearing eye makeup. It just feels like it dries my eyes out. But someone told me to wear makeup. That's pretty bad. Hi, Jane Smith. All right, still got 1 minute. 1 minute. Come on, 6 o'clock. Mac, hello, Mac. Okay, it is now 6 p.m. or 1800 hours, whichever you prefer. Okay, so get this. You'll love this. This was August 26th, which was a Wednesday in 2015. At 6:17 p.m. is when this person wrote the letter to Judge Sambrook. Okay, so Thursday, no. That I'll leave that alone. So this letter was written Wednesday, August 26th of 2015 at 6:17 p.m. Okay, and she spelled Judge Sambrook's name wrong. She spells it Sambrook. It's Sambroak. Now, the funny part about his name is he's not very funny, but if you text Judge Sambrook on your phone, it comes up Sam space Broke. So I said to one of my friends, why is it doing that? And she says, well, it's probably because you're going to be broke when you leave that courtroom. Okay? So truth on that one. Okay, so let me see here. It says, Dear Judge Sambrook, I'm going to go into some theater, and now you need to know also that this letter was sent to the judge's residence, his home. Okay, not his chambers, no. This was actually sent to his home. Now, how can that be, do you think? With the ex's wife who enjoys her job in the Erie County Courthouse, how would this person know where the judge actually lives? They were intentional. Yes, Warrior Mom. We're going to have some fun with this one. Okay. Now, we're going to go with theater. I'm going to change my voice a little bit. I don't know how to sound like a witch, though. Okay, so here we go. Please know that I am writing this letter out of concern for my family. I'm the sister of the whore of the court. I was at the court proceedings today, Wednesday, 8/26. This letter is not in any way a means of changing your mind on your decision in the courtroom. However, I feel it is necessary that you know I personally need to let you know how I'm feeling right now about what took place today in your courtroom. Thanks for the roses. I need an Oscar, right? Okay, so she's calling my kids her family. No. Let's not even go there. Okay, next paragraph. And this is underlined, okay? With a heavy heart, I'm stunned and devastated, as we all are, with your decision to grant Mrs. Petri unsupervised visits. I cannot fathom how you can even come to that decision after the facts were presented to you. Yes. Now this is the next paragraph. Yes, the father didn't get his evaluation, and I understand that angered you. He was acting on the advice of his counsel, which you understood as well. But that man has been to hell and back with this custody situation, doing everything in his power to protect his children. He monitored everything, spent countless hours making sure Miss Petri isn't mentally harming those kids. He had documentation, loads of it. He has reports from OCY, reports from doctors, as well as numerous professionals. 1. Okay. He has refinanced his house. That's news to me. To afford all these attorney fees and nonsense that Miss Petri has caused. Are you sitting down? I know, right? Warrior mom. She goes, Lord Maryann. Okay. I'm telling you, when my attorney handed me this letter, he was laughing. And he said, she sent this to his residence, and the judge is pissed. Okay. His marriage has suffered greatly because of this. He never once got on that stand and told a lie. Oh, dear Jesus. I can prove those lies if the DA would let me. Between him and the obese caseworker, I think I could prove that. Okay. However, Miss Petri had lied over and over again on the stand under oath. When she's called out on it, she can't remember. In your own words to her, in quotes, ... you are your own worst enemy, ... conveniently remembering only what you want to remember, with only one quotation, not two. Okay. Now she continues. I'm sorry, but I have to be honest with you. I never told a lie on that witness stand. Okay, DA? Never told a lie. This is her pattern, and she will never change. Why do you think she forgot her cell phone on the day of the hearing? Come on, Judge, you should have called her out on that. After seeing all the sick stuff on Instagram and Snapchat, you are able to grant unsupervised visits with a clear conscience? Okay, now she's berating him, so you all need to know. Yep, I'm giving you your laugh for the day, warrior mom. Okay, so she's berating the judge. Okay, you need to know this letter's like 2 pages long. Okay, I just don't understand. This woman is mentally ill. You've told her on several occasions she needs help. But what you fail to realize, she tells her kids as well as her friends and family that she is tired of people telling her she needs help. She does not believe there's anything wrong with her. Yes, her son misses their mom. Of course they do. But you made a huge mistake by allowing unsupervised visits. Miss Petri will break this boy down mentally once again, and his dad and the horror of the court are the ones who have to deal with the aftermath. The aftermath. Can you imagine? This guy never had a psych eval. He got one eventually, though. It was all rainbows and unicorns because he got it from an OCY psychologist. I never got to see it, and I should have. Anyway, did she really try to use you forgetting your phone against you? No one used the phone against me. I read it in the last TikTok live, and that's on my YouTube channel, Slam the Gavel. But I said in transcript, Your Honor, I left my phone on the kitchen table where I believe my Brittany Spaniel is chewing it up right now. And he didn't go after me for it. Okay, the previous hearing before that one, he forced me to give my phone to Attorney Taylor, okay? So I give him my phone. I actually didn't want to, but the judge said in this tone, give him your phone. So I gave him my phone. It's not my fault he can't get into it. Hey, he's an attorney. Isn't he smart enough to figure this shit out? Okay, so anyway, no, nothing was really, yeah, they, trying to forgetting the phone. Yes. Yeah, I know. They will pull anything in family court because there's no laws in family court. There's no constitution. And just so everybody knows, the United States is a constitutional republic, not a democracy. Okay, just so we all are clear on that. Okay, so next paragraph. There's no doubt in my mind that no matter what you told her in that courtroom, she's going to do and say whatever she wants because in her mind, she's right and everyone else is wrong. Her son needs to be protected, and ruling like you did with unsupervised visits has made everything the father and the horror of the court work so hard to fix go down the drain. We're all in complete shock. Okay, so next paragraph. I was at the last hearing as well, and you stated to both parties that if an agreement can't be reached, you would revisit this and make a decision. It was mentioned as to who should supervise these visits, and you told the father and Attorney Taylor to make a list of people. That list was made that day and was given to you by Mr. Taylor. I don't know about that. Also, at that first hearing, it was mentioned that the daughter, and she spells my daughter's name wrong. Okay, if they're family, shouldn't they know how to spell all the kids' names right? No, it's totally spelled wrong. I really would like the kids to watch this because they need to know this jerk spelled their names wrong, and she's calling them their family. Okay. It's mentioned that her daughter wants her stuff back. Miss Petri has refused to give this girl her stuff back. You told Attorney Taylor at the time to make a list of her things. That never happened. He never told me. No one ever told me to make a list of those things. The list was made that day and at some point presented to you. Now, Miss Petri claims there's a bin in the basement too heavy to lift. UHMMMM ... She got rid of all her daughter's things. So when it's brought up again, just know that this young girl was robbed of her stuff by her mentally ill mother. It may seem petty to you, but to a teenage girl, it's an extreme loss. Are your tissue boxes out yet? Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, so next page. Okay, next page. Okay, so the other boy is 14 years old. Of course he's going to want to see his mom. But you have to know that supervised visits are going to be extremely detrimental to this. I'm sorry, unsupervised. Unsupervised visits are going to be extremely detrimental to this child. I don't know why her typing stopped there and then started there. Okay. He misses his dog and being able to do what he pleases at her house because she could care less about spending time with them. She tries to buy their love. I'm going to point out right now, that's impossible because I lost my career as a nurse at 23 years. I didn't have 2 cents to rub together. If it wasn't for my current husband, I'd be dead. Okay, so she tries to buy their love. I can't afford to buy anybody's love. Okay. Why don't you ask these boys how much time their mother actually spends with them? When she did have supervised visits, she spent time with her friends, not her kids. Okay, that's not true at all. No friends were over. In fact, my parents were over because my mother was a supervisor. Yes, the judge made my mother a supervisor and the ex's father a supervisor. And these are old people. Reports, oh, wait a minute, is all clean as a whistle, but somebody then reported that they couldn't trust anyone I know. This is Natasha Bittersweet. It couldn't possibly be because she's their mother. Thank you. So I had to wait till the agency. I see what you're saying. Okay, I'm so sorry. Everything's just so screwed up with this whole system. Okay. Okay, I'll repeat the last sentence. When she did have supervised visits, she spent time with her friends, not her kids. I only have actually 2 friends and they weren't over. Did you ever think of asking the people how supervising they thought it went? Is that how she typed that? Did you ever think of asking the people supervising how they thought it went? Okay, whatever. By her own admission, she says the one boy runs upstairs to play Xbox and the other goes outside to cruise control on the 4-wheeler. Now that's all wrong. Okay, because first of all, both boys' bedrooms were on the 1st floor because it was kind of like a ranch house, and there was a bonus room on the 2nd floor. And first of all, the one did like to play his Xbox, and we didn't have a 4-wheeler on the property because this property was kind of weird. It had an HOA. I don't know if anyone has suffered through an HOA, but believe me, no, there was no room for a 4-wheeler. What had cruise control actually was the lawnmower. Our lawnmower was a John Deere, and it had cruise control and a place to put your sippy cup. I know. Here we go. She never mentions doing anything with the boys. She does not spend time with them. Kids need love and attention, not things. Ready for the next paragraph? But I will say Dad bought them their love and attention, and he bought them things like cars, vehicles, computers, da-da-da-da-da. Okay? I'm trying to make this humorous. Warrior Mom, thank you. Okay. Assuming you're the father, how could you not see how horribly wrong these photos were? And then she doesn't even capitalize and the messages, question mark. It's sick, Judge, and all the father ever wanted to do was to protect these children. Everything he has fought for was ripped away from him today. As a father, how would you want your child in this situation after reading the psychology report on the middle son? Well, I never got to see it. It was never in court because that psychologist just didn't show up when subpoenaed. Okay, this is like bizarre. That's probably why my attorney was laughing that hard. Miss Petri has filed something every time something didn't go her way. No, my attorneys were. At that point, I had attorneys. Okay, that is how she lives her life, and she will stop at nothing. That's in bold. That's in bold. Nothing, I mean, nothing to get what she wants. She doesn't pay child support, and her parents have given her the money she needs for attorney fees. No. Let's get this clear. I didn't even ask my current husband for money for child support because it's against my principles. This is my problem, my body, my problem. Okay, so those aren't his kids. He does not pay attorney fees on my kids. This is my problem. And my parents never gave me money for attorney fees. Again, my body, my attorney fees. Okay. Therefore, she's never going to stop, ever. And who suffers? The kids and their father and the horror of the court. Okay, so I will bet my son's life on this. Miss Petri will dig her own grave. It's a matter of time. You have given her a chance not to prove she can do right, but to prove she will, and that's in bold, will mess this up. And I have a feeling you will regret the decision you made. She's telling a judge this? Whoa. Hi, Anna. I know, Warrior Mom. I'm glad you're enjoying this. I'm going to keep going. Here we go. After OCY, which is CPS here in Pennsylvania, after OCY, the doctors, the schools, and other professionals have clearly spelled out that the son has suffered severe mental abuse, and then this happens today. How is anyone supposed to believe in the justice system? Hell, that was I was wondering that too when they took the boys away March 2nd, 2015, based on lies and deceit and collusion. Here you have a family who's trying their hardest to do things the right way, according to the law. Whoa, I'm glad I'm sitting down. According to the law? These people didn't go by the law. They went by lies, deceit, collusion, coercion, Stockholm Syndrome. These people are child psychological abusers. Okay, pardon, I'll continue. And for what? After finally having some peace and stability, their world was forever changed by your decision today. I see why the judge was pissed. It's been a while since I read this. I'll keep going then. I'll finish. Then she says, I'm deeply saddened, disappointed, and angry that it has come to this. It's not right, Judge. And I believe in your heart you have to know that this was not in the best interest of those boys. Unsupervised visits are going to open up a whole new can of worms, and we will see you once again going through the same heartache and headache, fighting for what we believe and know is in the best interest of those children. Two more paragraphs, bear with me. Yeah, like most of them do, right? Oh my gosh. Okay, here she goes. No one understands why you would let her have an unsupervised visit. It just doesn't make sense with all the evidence that was presented to you. There really wasn't much of anything. Bear in mind, I was also cleared of the first indication of emotional child abuse. Technically, we should have gone back to 50-50 as we had been for the last 10 years that day in June of 2015. Okay, anyway, in closing, thank God she's closing, right? In closing, now also, I want you to see here that my attorney whited something out, or the judge whited something out. I don't know what was whited out. I wish I knew what that was. In closing, know what you know. With a massive amount of evidence presented to you, I hope and pray that you make this wrong right, and at some point, before it's too late, sincerely, the sister of the whore of the court. This is what I had to deal with. Okay, so as far as the counseling, yeah, I've been going to counseling to deal with people that need to go to counseling, like a lot of us are, right? Yeah, warrior mom. Oh my God, it's clear of that too, but they didn't stop the accusations. Yes, you're right, Natasha Bittersweet, because after I was cleared of the first indication, 4 days later, I was indicated again on emotional abuse on the middle, the middle child. Okay, that's the one that sealed my fate with losing my career at the hospital, because they had to have, on November 23rd, they had to have fingerprints, background checks, and child abuse clearances, right? Well, my OCY hearing wasn't until December 4th, so I was, in fact, involuntarily terminated. However, Attorney Taylor kept saying to the judge, that the child support judge, that I just up and quit my job. No, that didn't happen. Put it up close under the light, maybe you can see. Well, okay, bear in mind, this is a copy. I can't see. You can't see anything. Yeah, if it was the original, I bet I could. Thank you for sharing the live. Well, I'm sorry, this is the worst thing that can happen to a mother. You're not kidding. I mean, these kids are messed up for life. I hate to say this about my own kids, but when they're going to personality disorders, because I was yelled at on a podcast, we can't call people narcissists. So I refer to these people as personality disorders. So these judges, in my case, was in collusion with the opposing attorney. So they used to work together in the DA's department for 3 to 4 years. So they knew each other pretty well. Now, of course, you can never prove anything, but with the whore of the court installed in that courthouse, don't you think it would be easy to judge shop and attorney shop? I shop around. I couldn't shop around, man. I was like sitting here. Okay, so when the judge awarded me unsupervised visits every other weekend, because I was under the second indication, which is okay that he did that. That's okay, because he knew the first one I passed. So he probably figured the second indication was bogus too, which it proved to be. And I can tell you that it was proved to be because I have this letter from my lawyer. And she wrote on January 8th, 2016, this is after my December 4th, 2015 OCY hearing. Let me see, my daughter's having problems with, oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Okay, so this letter from my lawyer is regarding child abuse expunction, which means I'm cleared of these charges. So, okay, so like at that time, we should have filed for another hearing, a custody hearing, saying, okay, mom's cleared. Everyone goes back to 50-50 as we had been for the last 10 years. Okay. I was not the type of person to zero in and steal custody. The kids wanted to go back and forth between the houses. It was a 5 days on, 5 days off schedule. Judge Sambrook said, I can't believe these kids are being bounced around from house to house. I'm going, what were you told? These kids were fine going back and forth, and if they forgot something or needed anything, you know, he or I would drop it off in each other's mailbox. It was no big deal until the woman he married inserted herself in the co-parent relationship. So bear in mind, things were fine for 10 years. Then all hell broke loose when I go and remarry. Okay, so this is what my lawyer wrote. I know, I was their mother. I was their mother. Now she's their mother. I know that for a fact. Okay, so she writes to me, and I'm glad I have this letter. Thank you, Carrie. Enclosed you will find the order dated January 6, 2016, which resulted from our second hearing on the indicated finding of abuse placed against you by the Erie County Office of Children and Youth. I'm very pleased to inform you that the second finding has been ordered to be expunged. I'm very happy that we were able to help you with this, as I do believe you were unfairly targeted by the Erie County Office of Children and Youth. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. Yes, this is awesome. And I put it out on Facebook that I know who was making these false accusations. It was dear old dad. I have that in transcript. In fact, I can read that to you the next time I do a TikTok live, because the second obese caseworker on the stand spilled the beans. And I said to myself, wow, I'm going to buy that transcript too. Now, bear in mind, the first transcript cost $657. And my current husband paid for that because we had to have it. Then with the second one, and after my heart attack, you know, I had 3 stents placed to the LAD. Okay, so then I was still having chest pain, and thankfully I did win in Superior Court the child support, which is 406 WDA 2015. No, 2017. Sorry, I misspoke. 406 WDA 2017. We always know, but they never investigate it. No, they don't do anything. I don't even know why they get paid. I'm telling you, I don't know. But where was I going with this? So I had won that. I was still having chest pain. I even had a secondary heart cath because the cardiologist was wondering, why are you having chest pain? Well, because of all of this. Worrying about, this, because I had already been in jail for the child support. Then I get the heart attack. See where I'm going with this? So he did a secondary heart cath and all my stents were clear. So everything was good. And so then things just really, I don't know what to tell you. Where was I even going with that? This is what trauma does to people. You're on a roll and then where was I even going with that? This is what trauma does to people. You're on a roll and then you sit oh, okay, I got a phone call, that's why I clicked that off. Nope, yeah, I know. So I'm telling you, after 2017, even after winning the child support, these boys still, they wanted to go back to 50-50. Which will take us back to 2016, which I think I may have read you that transcript from 2016 with Judge Shad Connolly. Now, Judge Shad Connolly used to be a prosecutor for the Erie County Courthouse. And anyway, interesting history on him. Fun fact. Well, I better not go into that. So, whenever I did see him in action, whenever he was arguing against another attorney, like, say, F. Lee Bailey, he would stomp his foot. He's at the podium. I remember being like 12 or 13. I'm watching this attorney stomp his foot every time he was overruled. And I'm going, why is he stomping his feet? Boy, that other attorney's being sustained all the time. We love F. Lee Bailey. So anyway, yeah, that was kind of a history. I don't know if I should talk about that yet. I'll have to ponder that. I'll ponder that. But anyway, so I actually saw Shad Connolly when he was a young man. Then in 2016, I may have told you all that my boys wanted me to file for a custody hearing so we could go back to 50-50. So I attempted that. The boys also wanted to go on the witness stand. I told them I was going to subpoena them. Don't be scared if something comes in the mail. At this point, they were ages 14 going on 15, 15 going on 16. So it's like really, they weren't, they didn't care. That's why those folks don't understand. Actually, they don't care. They don't care. They just want to make your kids' lives miserable. So your heart will be aching, which, yeah, it did, because these people were making my kids miserable when they could have been enjoying their lives. Unbelievable. This turned into a big mess. I'm sure, I may bet that the ex regrets ever walking into that courtroom. I'm willing to bet that, maybe. Because out of this mess comes Slam the Gavel podcast. And the book. Let me find it. Dismantling Family Court Corruption. Why taking the kids was not enough. It wasn't enough for him. Or her. Yeah, it just wasn't enough. So people kept saying, what happened to the kids? What happened to the kids? It's like, I just can't tell the story anymore. I can't, money, cha-ching. And I couldn't tell the story anymore. So I had to put it into a book. We made it really easy to read. There's takeaways. I do talk about personality disorders and broken heart syndrome and debtor's prison. I kind of address everything. Being a pro se, having to represent yourself. And thank you, Natasha Bittersweet. Because I wrote part 4, what really is a broken heart. And what else did I put in there? Okay, what it felt to be a non-custodial parent. When I was writing this, my publisher said, do we have to use the word non-custodial? It's like, yeah, it's a legal term. she had to learn the law, so I had to educate her what a non-custodial parent is. So, oh, I have a poem here. Do you want me to read it? Let me see here. This is called The Non-Custodial Parent's Fear, page 97. So you can tell this book isn't real thick. Someone was throwing me a jab and said it's a pamphlet. Hey, whatever's easiest to read, right? Yeah, okay, so I'll read it for you. Natasha Bittersweet, here we go. What do we do about this ill content? From family court, our bodies are spent. Paying out fees and hands have been tied. You look at your living child treated as if died. A family court is a battleground aided by CPS. You are now a target parent under duress. Your children have been taken away and have no clue, looking for your card school and waiting for you. How sad it is for them to finally find out that you are no longer in anywhere about. They wonder when they will see you next, only to find themselves in a toxic vortex. Non-custodial parent, please do beware. In due time, your children will not care and grow to despise you, and has taken the bait, for the child you used to know has learned to hate. Life for you all will be grueling and grim, contacting your child as you go out on a limb. And I'll tell you about that too. Breaking a court order just to make contact, to make your child's life intact. I'll tell you about that right after this. In time, slowly, they will turn them against you. Sit, wait, and watch. There's nothing you can do. Your child is being groomed to live in fear, but there's a court order you all must adhere. Guess what I did? I'll tell you what I did. Okay, so it was my birthday. I'm thinking January, when was that? January of 2016. I had a no contact order because, I'm so dangerous. And the ex's thing was dropping my youngest son off for basketball. And there was like a foyer. And I had brought him water and a snack. So I was waiting, and his friends know me. I'm going, hi, how are you? Hey, And so my son comes in, he's looking down, he looks miserable. Frown, he just did not look happy. And I called his name, and he looked shocked to see me. And I said, hey, it's my birthday today. I missed yours, but I get to see you on mine. And here's some water, and here's something to snack on. And he said, thank you. And we hugged, and he said, I love you. And I said, I love you back. And then he went in to do his basketball thing. No one ever brought this up to the judge. I'm kind of shocked. But they'll bring up a crappy letter. But anyway, so I went out. It was cold. It was winter, January. And the ex's wife was coming around the circle, and she was exiting the school area. So has anyone ever seen Damien the Omen? We're talking the one back in the early 80s, that movie where they played that music. Dun 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 dun. Okay, dun dun. It's really, really formidable music. Does anyone remember that? I'm probably showing my age, but I was probably maybe 10 or 11 when that came out, or 12. Anyway, so I crossed my arms, and I'm walking to my car, and I'm actually walking in front of her car very slowly, because she was going slow anyway. But I smiled at her like this, as I just kept walking. I gotcha. Yeah, I got to see my kid. You're not their mother. Thank God. Because if they had her looks, God help us all, Jesus. Well, I won't get petty. Let me see here. I don't know. Do you want me to read another poem? Oh, I want to tell you guys one thing. I have Raised by These Wolves, How Family and Federal Courts Are Failing Our Children. This is a collection of parents' stories. I have, how many stories? Who is this one? Okay, so I also have their pictures in there as well. That's my friend Heidi and her husband. They got screwed over by CPS in Wisconsin. I have Elaine Mickman in here. She's an author too. And Lee Grenade and Mark Andrews. I just interviewed Mark Andrews a couple days ago. Anyway, so this book is only 103 pages long. So I wrote that one. That's the first one. The second one is Raised by These Wolves, Volume 2, Child Trafficking Within the Foster Care and Court Systems. It's a little bit thicker. It is approximately 176 pages. And I quoted Benjamin Franklin, "Make yourself sheep and the wolves will eat you." Yeah, you're not kidding. How many of us have been through this BS? Okay, so I have a lot of parents in here that, I have my friend in here. And in fact, she brought, the opposing attorney in her case brought this book to court and was saying, she has her story in this book. And I want you to see it, Judge. So the opposing attorney brought it to the judge. So he's looking at it and looking at it for 4 minutes. He's looking at it and looking at it. And he's looking at it and he's looking at it. 4 minutes. You know, that's a long time. Has anyone ever, you can find the books on Amazon. But the judge handed the book back to opposing counsel and said, well, there's a lot of family court stories in here. Here's Ken Gottfried. He's in here. He's an author. He has books out too. Who else is this? Let me see here. Yeah, Mark Andrews is the last one in here. 24 stories. Oh, I also have Robert Garza in here as well. And my friend Kelly Patton is in here because I've had her on my podcast multiple times. Yeah, there's Garza. And he was talking about his time taken, time back. And so, let me see here. Just people that are not complaining about their cases. These are people telling their story. And I love what you... they're telling their story, but they're also saying what they're also trying to do to make the court system better. So I've got Natalia Dalton in here. I don't know if you know her story. Very similar to mine, with a judge who allows a nutcase to run the courtroom. Yeah, she got stuck with paying child support on a kid she doesn't get to see either. And that is just absolutely insane. And I'm not a lawyer, but I do remember that Morgan versus Morgan was passed last year, February 1st, 2024, in the state of New York, where there was custodial interference going on, whatever, and the judge suspended the guy's child support. So there's hope, okay, people? There's hope. I also interviewed Mark Ludwig today, and he was talking about Title 4D and how they're trying to get reform. Okay, so anyway. Okay, so then I also, this book opens up with this. A nation of sheep will get a government of wolves. Scary, huh? I don't want to bore you guys any further. There's a good story in here by Emanuel Shetler. Yeah, that one's very fascinating. He talks about a cult he was in. And so then, Raised by These Wolves, Volume 3, hopefully will be coming out next week, I hope. I hope and pray. So I also have Cry Out for Justice, Poems of Truth. And I've got more in here. What really happens in foster care? I don't know. Do you want me to read that one? I don't know if I should read that one. I don't know if I could. Oh, the stealth of stealing souls. Do you want me to read that one? Let me see. Who's saying? Do you want me to read which one? Oh, okay. The stealth of stealing souls. This was written March 7th, 2019. Again, as I said, I'd been waking up at 1, 2 in the morning with poems coming out of my head. It was like really crazy. But I was typing them into my phone, so I had, read them all. I will eventually too, Natasha Bittersweet. Okay, so the stealth of stealing innocent souls is an art, much accomplished by those who play the part. It's either CPS here or a step-parent there. However, tagging not far behind is foster care. What has this world turned into, I wonder, with the family court along with the gals just plunder, ruining families and children who were once happy. Now their family lives are now ruined and crappy. The lure of quotas, Title IV D and E, these poor innocent souls cannot see, taken away from the comfort of their family, begging a judge with deaf ears as they plea. So sad to see part of your life ripped away, your children gone, and you wonder every day, are they safe? And all for the sake of money, as you remember days that were happy and sunny. To always stay together and not pulled apart by lies and deceit, and that's just a start. The game is well played and CPS has won to steal your daughter and your son. Sorry. But yeah, so that one, there are some sarcastic ones in here too. I mean, it's not just all depressing, sad poems. I don't know why they make me cry, but that some of them do. I'm trying to find one of yous that could, what time is it? Oh, it's 45 minutes I've been on. Let me see. How about, how long is this one? Okay, well, that one's kind of The Disaster of the Ruling. Do you want me to read that one? Let me see. No apologies needed. I'm crying too. I'm sorry. I don't mean to make anybody cry, but man, I've just really had it up to here with Title IV B, D, and E. Does anyone know what these Title IVs are? Okay. You should Google them. Title IV B, which is CPS, D, which is child support enforcement, E is foster care. So I'm sure everybody knows that when your kid is taken into foster care, that foster family is paid a stipend. Okay, but get this. The parent that they took the kid away from is paying them child support too. Is that double dipping? Did I say that? Okay, anyway. Do you want me to read? Yeah, it's financial incentives. Thank you, Natasha, but bittersweet. Yep. Okay, so... Oh, I don't know if I can read that one. Okay. Okay, here we go. Let me see. Okay, so this is, how about, well, I don't know. That one's short, but I don't know. It's not, I don't know. That one's short, but I don't know. It's not, here we go. This is called On the Whim of CPS. This was written January 23rd, 2019. Hey CPS, what do you have to say? Just lies, that's the game you play. Setting out to destroy families at whim. Your caseworkers really are quite dim. No social worker's license, barely a degree. Easily making false indications as we can see. Putting families through hell as you enjoy. Taking their children away has been your ploy. There's your pay raise along with Title IVe. You met your quota, fostering children as a guarantee. More money filtering through the child support. Or should we call it adult support and a day in court? To show off in front of the judge saying you've been promoted when in actuality you were taken out of the field and demoted. But sure sounded good impressing the judge and you in your glory proudly on the witness stand while embellishing your story. There it is, and there you go after another family, but in truth, the poor children are the casualty. Wondering when they will see their parents next, you don't even bother giving them their personal effects. Yeah, so my first caseworker, the first obese caseworker, sat on the witness stand. Here, maybe you'll get the full effect if I do this. Like this to the judge. And she was actually taken out of the field and demoted. And I think I said that on another live or on my podcast. Thank you. Thank you, Natasha Bittersweet. So I have to go because I'm expecting a phone call at 7. But thank you for listening to me. And always keep your letters, make copies, and file them away in a safe place. So I'll have to put those back in my box of hell. Would you believe I have 2 boxes of hell with court orders, motions, it's my filing cabinet. Oh, thank you for Natasha Bittersweet. Love your work. Thank you. Keep doing this. I will. I'll find other weird stuff to read you guys. Maybe I'll find Judge Shad Connolly's court appearance for like 12 minutes. He was on the bench and then he just picked up and left. I'll find that one for you guys, that transcript. But thank you so very much for attending and being so supportive. And, prayers to everyone going through this. Thank you so much.